Well, this is the final day of the preliminary round, and it's a very important encounter for both teams. And we have the Ginger Generals, and they are coming up against the Clove Challengers. Clove Challengers, they are at the top of the table. Ginger Generals, they sit at the number 4 spot. Let's see what happens today, as some crucial points are up for stake. Mr. Match Referee Norman Gilbert is here. He has the coin. And now we're going to have the toss. And so we have a tail. Johan, you won the toss today. Tell us your decision.
We'll have a bowl first.
Okay, again, we see the trend having a bowl first. What sort of total you think, looking at the outfield, looking at the wickets, what sort of total you looking to restrict them to?
Yeah, we're looking to restrict them anything under 100, to set up the game for a batsman.
All right, you seem to be gathering a bit of momentum. Your batting seems to be coming. What can we look forward to from the Ginger Generals today?
Well, it's just for us to play a complete game, over the last couple of games haven't been the best for us, but it's just for us to put those things behind our backs and look to come and move forward.
All right, well, thank you very much and good luck to you in today's encounter. Roland Keto will join us. Roland, you did not win the toss today. Had you won the toss, would you have batted?
Nah, if we win the toss, we'd have ball also.
Okay, so we're still keeping the... you are here to bat. You have 10 overs. What would you say to your players coming out here?
I mean, this is about the 4th or 5th toss I'm losing, and all the time they send us to bat, so it's nothing new to us. It's just about coming out here, apply ourselves properly and try and put a good score on the board.
What sort of total do you think will really put the game out of reach of the Ginger Generals?
We're looking at something around 130, 140. I think that should be a good score.
Okay, well, good luck to you. If you get that, it certainly just will register as the highest total in the tournament. Today should be a good day for that.
Yeah, most definitely. Just coming out here today to put on a good performance.
All right, so there we had it. That was Roland Keto of the Clove Challengers. And so we're going to be getting ready for the first ball of this, the final day of preliminaries in the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10. The Ginger Generals, they won the toss and they are going to be taking the field. And the picture on your screen says it all, a beautiful day for cricket. We had 2 days where the weather to start looked a bit overcast, but today you can see the brilliant sunshine, the well-manicured Lasajas playing field, really looking in pristine conditions. And it makes for a very interesting final preliminary day. Clove Challengers, they head the table. And so they will be looking to remain at the top of the table with a win today. But I know that the Ginger Generals, they will have a lot to say about this. They are looking to pick up some much needed points, the Ginger Generals. 2 points here will get them up to 8 points. And the possibility of them maybe just moving up to third. So there's a lot of possibility. And we just have to wait until the end of the match to really know what is happening. So the tournament is still very competitive. Teams finishing in the top 2. One of these teams will have a shot to get to the finals, while the others will play the playoff eliminators. You can look forward to a qualifier and eliminator. That's ball 1 from Laurie Williams. It's just striking the batter, not able to get a run. Makes for a really good, interesting day today. And so wherever you're viewing from, we want to say good day to you. This delivery is just pushed out on the offside. Good quick hustle in from the batters. They cross for one. The usual opening pair for the Clove challengers, Samuel Charles and Hasnan Jackson. They have been really looking to set up some good totals, the Clove challengers. Williams hitting a good line and length so far. Looking to keep the ball rather straight. Has some protection in the man at deep mid wicket, as we see a wide being signaled there by the umpire. Just getting a little too tight on the leg stump there, Williams. Laurie Williams has been a serious stalwart for the Ginger Generals over the years with the ball. A lot would rest on him. And just hitting that length, getting that bit of movement with the new ball. And so far, Charles been very watchful. So, 2 deliveries remaining, and this the first over. Challengers will want to maximize. Again, picking up a single. Ginger Generals will be relatively happy with that single. So the score 3 without loss represents a good start by Williams. Let's see what Jackson will do. And that one goes past the fielder there, and that will be the first boundary for the morning. Let's see the umpire signal. He signaled 4 runs, so he came off the bat and beat the man there at short fine leg who was up in the circle. And so the first boundary of the day goes to Haston Jackson. He moves to 3. The first over completed. It's 7 without loss. The Clove challengers will be looking to post a decent total. Heard at the pre-match interview, they were looking maybe at a 140. The conditions are really set for that sort of score. The outfield has been manicured, and so it looks in good condition. It's a relatively fast outfield. So the bowler from the road end, Taylor, Jonathan Taylor. And he's bowling to Samuel Charles, who's on 1. A good start outside the off stump. Charles not really getting across. There's not much protection. He went across and could have gotten it through the covers. Man at third man is right back and backward point, right back on the boundary, so intention should be shot. Here comes the field at point coming into play here. So far, Taylor bowling to his field. Jackson, who's a pretty hard hitter of the cricket ball, will certainly look to capitalize on anything offline, off length. Good delivery. Yeah, just getting that bit of shape there, Tila. Relatively quiet over so far. Only one run coming from 3 deliveries. Challengers will not want to start too slowly. They want to maximize the power play. An attempt to leave results in a single. Total moves to 9. 1 delivery to go. Let's see if Taylor can close off this over. Clove Challengers captain will be very happy with what has taken place so far. Sorry, the Ginger Generals captain. And there he goes. That seems to be Charles lifting this one. It's a beautiful hit. It's a carry power hit. Jonathan Taylor there just guilty of getting too close to the bat swing of Charles. And Charles just lifting this one, playing through the line of the delivery. Bringing up much needed maximum. 15 after 2 overs. And the Clove Challengers, they will want to make sure that they maximize this power play, which will end after this over. So I'm going to welcome Mr. Stevenson home.
Good morning, Rondo. It's a beautiful morning. Lovely day.
Yeah,
almost heavenly, ethereal. Good start by the Clove Challengers after 2. Not a quick start, but just the fact that they've not lost a wicket within the first 2. That should make them feel at least comfortable.
Yeah, I quite agree with you there. It will be a good sign for them that they have not lost the early wickets. But the conditions really looking good. Nice hot sunshine.
And the field has been shaven. Was that done early this morning?
Yes, I think it was done rather early this morning.
But they did a great job.
So that brings an end finally to the second over. And at the end of the over, the Challengers, they are 15 without loss. Again, as we just said, they are breaking the trend, not losing a wicket in the first 2 overs. So that says something good for them.
Yeah, that last delivery, though, outside the off stump, I thought that Charles, like so many other players in the tournament, not getting across to cut. We see a number of players trying to pull outside the leg stump, giving room to cut the ball through the outside, and they've missed it. You've got to get close to the ball rather than trying to stay away from the ball to get your power. So the conventional cut shot still is an authentic shot that you can use in playing any format of the game.
And Williams with that delivery. Umpire not moved. He will signal leg by now. It will be interesting to see where that one pitched.
Yeah, it's also interesting to see the response of the players. Sometimes when a bowler goes up in vociferous appeal, the players can concentrate on looking to see what the umpire would do, whether he would raise the finger, and meanwhile the ball dribbles out on the offside or onside, as the case may be.
Again, Williams just keeping it within the body of the... And so that was a really good piece of fielding there from Charles, who came in and in one motion picked up and threw a direct hit. And it means that Samuel Charles is out, run out.
Now, it was always going to be chancy, always going to be risky. And they went for the first one quickly. Give them credit. Coming back, it depended on how well the fielder would hold that ball and also throw to the stumps. And everything was done like flash lightning. It was fast. The running between the wickets was fast. But the return, gosh, and the pickup was even better. Fantastic cricket. And Charles, in fact, just walked away. Didn't even look to see whether the umpire would raise the fatal finger.
Yeah, I think he knew he was in trouble with that direct hit. The fact that it was a direct hit, he knew he was in trouble. And so he didn't hesitate. But a really brilliant piece of fielding. It was just majestic the way he swooped down on that one, released rather quickly, and was able to get that direct hit.
Yeah, right. He came in like a feline of species, cat-like, pounced on it, picked it up, and in one movement, threw at the stumps. That simply was magnificent. Great. That's what you want to see. Yes, it brought about a wicket, but it just shows you how alert the fielder was. Well done.
Yeah, that was Charles there. Williams, this one just turned into the offside. They go for one, they're looking for two again. It could be tight. But really well run there by Jackson.
Yeah, it was almost, well, wasn't quite similar in that Jackson had to run back. But it was sort of touch and go. I think the players, the batters, they assessed it well, saw there was an opportunity for the second run, because it meant that the fielder will have to, Jackson will have to pick up and turn around.
Again, well stopped there by the man there at shot mid-wicket. Had that beaten him maybe to his right or left, certainly would have resulted in a boundary.
Yeah, so Murray certainly is showing aggressive intention there. A lot would depend on these two, and Coach Jackson, who's been there longer, will have to say to himself that he's got to play a pivotal or a very important strategic role today. Laurie Williams would obviously have different thoughts up his sleeve. He's bowled well in the tournament, and it is very good to see the left arm seamer. Just putting variation, variety. I always think that every team should have one.
Certainly has been an asset to the Ginger Generals lineup, Laurie Williams. Over the years, he has really done a good job with the ball in terms of helping to just tighten up the first few overs, the power play overs. Bowls a really good length and gets the ball to just move away, sometimes move in just slightly. Batters have to be really respectful to him. And that's a lovely shot. That is glorious. Jackson just coming and playing through the line of this one, taking the outer half, but the intent was always there to lift it over the infield and picking up a beautiful boundary for Motor Jackson.
Yeah, that was nice. That was really nice. Played through the line and may have just closed the face of the bat a little bit onto it, and that's why he got it through conventional deep mid-wicket. Resulted in 4 runs, but the intent was good. The result was good, and it was a good productive way to end the third over.
Yeah, they move on to 26 for 1. The Clove challengers. And they're looking to get to a total of at least 120, 130. The captain said he was looking for maybe 140. The power plays ended. And so it will take really some good power hitting from here to get them to that 140 mark.
You just get the impression, though, that both teams seem to want to play aggressive cricket. You just get this impression. The challengers want to go. You could see that they're egging themselves on, and the fielding team, Ginger Generals, they've been trying to be as sharp as possible.
And this one just turned into the onside as the leading wicket taker in this year's tournament. Dennis George comes into the attack. He has some 9 wickets to his name.
And he's gone about his work in a rather simple, mature manner. He's used all the guile, spin, and experience.
Only one.
It's always good to have a player like that on your team. One who is experienced and one who puts on his thinking cap.
He has always been, as this one is pulled into the onside. They go for 1. Certainly they will come for 2. And that's all it will be. But George, over the years, if you know the name Dennis George, it's always been a quality spinner.
Very much. He's got great control.
This one is lifted. And the man is out there. He's going to be caught. And so Murray goes. Really not getting a hold of this one. I think he was just cramped a bit. And so he tried to really get it there, but the man was positioned on that mid-wicket boundary, and it went straight down his throat.
Yeah, you've got to always remember when you're batting, there must be a mental picture as to where the fielders are. You must have remembered that there's somebody down there on the deep mid-wicket boundary. No, he's got a couple of options. To lift it over the fielder's head. Does he have the sort of power and strength and timing to do that? Or he could have gotten on top that ball and rolled the wrist over it and maybe put it more to the right of the player and pick up 2. So it all depends on what you want to achieve. If you think you want to go for big boundaries, then you've got to make sure that you hit the ball clean. And I would think he's more of a touch player rather than a big booming hitter.
Yeah, he really does play well when he's rotating strike, and he will pick up the odd boundaries.
He's a young man, though. He's going to learn in the process of time. Darren Ned has come out to replace him.
Side edge from Ned will get him off the strike.
He is the leading 6 hitter in the tournament is Darren Ned. Such a wonderful player he is. Sometimes I wonder if he himself knows how good a player he is.
As this one is lifted, it's going to fall short. Result in 1. Certainly Darren Ned is a quality player. I think everyone here in Grenada knows, and even around the region knows the quality that he has. It's just a matter of him believing and really working himself into what I would believe could be a very good career at the regional level and even at the international level.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be nice to see him maybe in the Caribbean Premier League, getting into one of those franchises and establishing himself. Because he's an all-rounder, one who obviously can bat well and one who can bowl well too. So when you've got a skilled player like him with such tremendous talent and potential, you don't want to waste that. You don't have a long time in terms of playing career. You start up, and when you begin to get up to around 38, 39, those are your twilight years. So utilize the time that you have and maximize that time.
Quite agree with you there. Have to maximize. And Ned is expected to do great things, not just here in the Spiceisle T10, but for Grenada, for the Windwards. Once he gets the opportunity, as the John and Eugene comes into the bowling attack. Just continuing on Ned, he's the second leading run scorer. Has a total of 207 from his 8 matches. And so a good innings here today will bring him back to the top of the run chart.
And he's got the most sixes also.
Yes, he has the most sixes, some 22 sixes. I think the next closest will be Dejon Charles on with 19 sixes.
Yeah, he's a fine player, really fine player.
And that one is just cut. Fielder doing a good job there to stop that one.
You've got to give credit to the Ginger Generals, who have been rather quick to ball generally. They look sharp. Might have been just a moment or two here and there, but by and large, they've looked sharp and they've looked to go after the ball once it's hit in the general direction of any fielder. They've not been lethargic at all.
Again, good length there by Eugene. Jackson doing well to give himself some room, but couldn't pierce that gap.
Yeah, good control. Eugene will be very happy so far.
And that's it, using the feet and striking it straight down the ground. Just a momentary lapse in concentration there. Maybe should have gotten 2.
Yeah, I agree with you. Take the first run quickly. Give yourself sufficient time to run the second, and that there really should have been 2 there, not capitalize. And those opportunities that you miss may turn back to haunt you. Let's hope it doesn't in their case.
Eugene just a bit short. Hit to the fielder, not cleanly fielded, resulting in a single to Ned. Generals will feel happy with that over so far. 4 runs coming from 5 deliveries.
So he can't afford to mar it now at all, Eugene. He's got to be steady with this one, and he's got to end well. Now, can he do it?
I think Jackson will have a lot to say about that as he cuts, but unable to get it past the fielder there. And so a good over for the Ginger Generals. John and Eugene just going for 4 runs in that over. They will see that as a really good victory for them.
The last delivery was, there was a bit of bounce attached to it, a little turn. The fact that he got so much bounce, that made it difficult for the batsman to get onto the back foot and cart it through the offside. 36 for 2 after 5, that's the halfway stage. I don't think that Clove challengers would be necessarily happy with 36 for 2. They would have preferred to be, let's say, 50 for 2. But the remaining 5, it means that they've got to put the foot on the pedal and really accelerate.
Well, what they have done well is the fact that they have not lost many wickets.
Well done.
This one is cut. Strange shot. He was there cutting, but it resulted in the ball getting to mid-off, or long off rather.
Yeah, and that's because he hit it a little bit on the early side.
Not bad, sire, not bad.
Really good bowling here by Dennis George. He's mixing them up too.
Yeah, this one just giving a bit more air. And coming off the edge of the bat, it will run away for another 4. Really, George just toying outside that off stump of Jackson, resulting in a good boundary for him. He moves to 22. But again, the steadiness of George just building that pressure.
Yeah, Jackson was not in control at all. That's not where he wanted it to go. Took more the bottom edge of the bat and went down to third man. They say it's not how you get them, but just get them.
Yeah, once you get the scoreboard moving, you are favored in terms of ensuring that you're doing the job that is needed.
Yes. Such a wonderful day today.
Let's walk, man. Let's walk.
Yeah, certainly looking good. It's really a lovely sight. Just looking at the sunshine and the fact that the wicket looks so good, the outfield, it really does look a splendor.
Yes, nicely cut. That circular manner. Beg your pardon.
And we have to continue to say well done to the ground staff. I think they have really done well with this facility for cricket. The wicket is good, it's taking bounce, it has good pace. You get the odd one to grip. The outfield is really in good condition. And it just makes for a lovely sight.
Yes. Like in everything that you do.
That's
Reverse.
a switch hit. That was a switch hit by Haston Jackson, bringing up a much-needed boundary. Dennis George just always on that line. But Jackson was clever enough to just switch hit and get it into the gap, picking up a much-needed 4 for his team.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that because George saw everybody was trying to play him conventionally. So he really did not expect that coming. Well done, Jackson. And that's what it's all about. Not being predictive, or predictable rather. Fine shot. I like it.
This time he looks to sweep. Ball going down to the boundary and will be 4 wides, I suspect. Yes, the umpire signaling wide here now. And so they switch it, bringing a change in the line from George and resulting in a good boundary off the wide for the Clove challenger. So the pressure, I'm telling.
Yes, and that's why it's always important for batsmen to be positive and to put the pressure onto the bowler. You can't allow the bowler to squeeze you into submission. It's about putting the pressure back on a very good bowler.
On the edge, they will pick up 1.
Again.
And I think that's why I really appreciated what Jackson did. Reversed it.
Let's go, Dennis. Let's go, Dennis.
And it meant that once he got it behind square, it was always going to be 4.
One.
And just looking to tap this one to the cover region there.
Well, at least a landmark has been posted. They have gotten now to 52, I think.
Yeah, 52 after 6. What is good for the Clove challengers, though, is that they still have the big hit in Roland Cato to come. Javid Hazard, who we've seen can hit the ball a long way. Ned and Jackson, so they have some firepower that they can utilize to get them a really decent score.
Agree with that. However, I think that Jackson and Ned will have to say to themselves, we're the principal powers here. We're the ones who've got a job to do. Let's get it done. But chance that we don't get it done, then we have a couple of guys who can come and take up from where we leave off. We've left off. So when you've got a job to do, get it done, because you don't know what's behind.
Yeah, I quite agree with you there. Make hay while the sun shine.
Nice proverbial saying there, Rondo.
Yes.
Always thought you were brilliant.
Davis Charles. And that results in the wicket. Davis Charles just sneaking this one past the bat of Darren Ned and bringing up a very, very important breakthrough for the Ginger Generals.
Yes, it was nicely flighted. But I think the error was the fact that Ned didn't seek to get to the pitch of the ball. Now let's look at it here. See what foot movement he has. Let's see. Notice, yeah, now there's been a little bit of a shimmy, but still you realize that he was not very close to the ball.
Yeah, good observation there, because you generally, it's on the off stump. You expect him to go across a bit, but what he did with that front leg was to open up the front leg instead of really trying to get closer to the delivery.
That's correct. Good observation. Yeah, it's important to get close to the delivery. And then if there's one criticism really that I would make with most of the players in this tournament, they're not getting as close to the ball as possible. Those who will get close to the ball and to the pitch of the ball, they're going to do well. And you've got to be careful not to let the shortened version of the game really impact on your batability negatively. You don't want that at all. Keep your shape.
What I can tell you is that with the modern day cricketer, as Charles continues, bowling to Kato, who just pushes it to the offside, will take a single. But the modern day cricketer, one of the things that we do a lot with them is being able to get them to plant the feet and use the power of the entire body to try and hit the ball over the ropes. This one is swung. It's out there to the man at backward point. And Jackson just toying with the field there a bit, resulting in a single. But the modern day cricketer is now being taught how to use the power position and really try to power the ball over the ropes. Kato goes looking for a sharp single there, but good work from Jarrell Jeremiah, resulting in a run out of Kato.
Yeah, there must have been some mix-up there, and there must have been really a bad bit of communication between both of them. Just one that, Kato never seemed as though he was even interested in rushing back to guard, to get there. I think he gave up very early and walked back sadly to the pavilion.
Yeah, I think the fact that he hit this one and the speed that it went, really in his mind, he knew that there's no way he can get there once the fielder fielded it so cleanly.
Yeah, so they're on Hippolyte. It's come out. They've lost a couple of quick wickets. In the 7th over now, 54 for 4.
This is what we were just speaking about. Ned and Jackson having to ensure that they do the job. And as you rightly said, the 2 quick wickets have put them into a position where they need to really bat well from here to get anywhere close to 100.
Yeah, you're right. Because just a matter of 3.2 overs remaining. That's not many. Can't do a whole lot with that. But they need to get close to that 100 total psychologically.
Again, this one is hit high into the air, and Hippolyte not really making an impact in this match. Or is that Jackson? That seems to be Jackson coming down the pitch, not really getting to the pitch of this one. And certainly Davis Charles has done a good job here. He left quite early. Charles saw it, pitched it wide, and brought about a fall shot from Jackson.
Well. And the dismissal was so soft, rather easy. And the Clove challengers, half the team has been dislodged. So the lower order will have to come and do a bit of redemption, a bit of reparation here. But they're on a roll here now, Ginger General.
Yeah, picking up 3 quick wickets there to really just peg the batting of the Clove challengers. Davis Charles 2 for 2 and has 1 delivery still. Let's see if he can get a hat-trick here.
Yeah, they've been trying to fetch the ball. They've been trying to fetch it. That last delivery, again, similar.
And lifting this one. And he's out, and that's the hat-trick. So it's a hat-trick for Davis Charles. picking up 3 really important wickets, one after the next. Let's look at it here. Lifting this one, not really getting to underneath it as he needs to, and Jeremiah coming around and taking a really brilliant catch.
Yeah, well, what celebration? 3 and 3. Quite frankly, fantastic, great bowling. And you would want to say bad batting, you know, but quite frankly, without bowling, you know, you just don't get wickets. So it means that he has bowled well. He's bowled well. He didn't try to do too many different things. He's kept it simple, Charles, really simple, and allowed the batsmen to make their mistakes. And they've done that. Hat-trick. 7 overs gone, 54 for 6.
If you told Davis Charles that today would be his day to pick up 3 for 2 with the conditions as it is, a good playing pitch, a really nicely manicured outfield that is just prime for run scoring, he would not have believed you.
No, absolutely not. He may have said, well, I can settle for a wicket or 2. That would make me good. But certainly not 3, inclusive of a hat-trick. Eugene is called back into the attack.
Yeah, Ginger Generals will feel that they are on top here. And they will know that they're on top when you've dislodged the top order of the Clove challengers. And this one is just stroked through the offside there by Hippolyte.
Ronald, you did talk about what batsmen are taught in terms of body position so that you could get as much power as possible. But they also got to realize that it's going to take more than power. It's going to take brain work, going to take timing at times. But yes, get your power in. There's an appeal for caught behind, gone. Well. Another wicket has gone. And this one is Jelani George, caught behind of the bowling of Eugene. And they've lost another wicket, Clove challengers. They're now 55 for 7.
Yeah, really. The challengers just slipping from what should have been a good start, relatively good position. They've just slipped away, fallen away. They've lost the plot somewhere along the line as the spinners came in. It started with George, Eugene came in, and then Davis Charles. Now Eugene coming back and just being able to just halt the scoring of the Clove challengers.
It's interesting, though, observation, because from the southern end, the ball seemed to bounce a little more at the northern end. If you're bowling from the southern end, of course, at the northern end of the ground, the ball just seemed to bounce a little bit more than if you're batting at the southern end.
Yeah, that's a good observation. It does say that once you pitch it in the right areas, you tend to get that extra bounce.
Because that delivery had a bit of bounce attached to it. Good catch behind the stumps too.
Yeah, Matthew doing a good job behind the wicket there. Coming down, really not to the pitch, and it's another really soft dismissal as Redhead goes. The spin of Eugene just outfoxing Redhead there. He was looking for the big shot, but realizing that he came down and he still wasn't even close to the delivery.
Yeah, I'm trying to really tap into my vocabulary to define what has happened here over the last 10 minutes. And there are a few words that would come to my mind, but I'll use one: procession.
Certainly, it has been a procession of wickets. Batters really not willing to stay out there. Still a lot of runs to be scored. Outfield is really good, and that alone should motivate you as a batter.
And Clove challengers, they've got to be careful. They could be bowled out on the 10 allotment.
Yeah, they need to be careful here. Will not want to have that happen to them. So, good line, good length there by Eugene, just toying with the batters outside the off stump. Really has them in a bind. Tyson just pushing this one out to the offside, picking up a run. First run in a while.
Yeah, it's crazy. Isn't it? Wickets were falling like droplets of rain.
Yeah, General's doing a really good job here with the ball. This one is short and Hippolyte just looking to cut it away. Brings an end to the over, so Eugene will be happy. 2 for 6 from his 2 overs. Again, really, really good economical and I would make it pressurizing bowling from the spinners of the Clove Challengers,
Again,
of the Ginger Generals.
And again, we see how spinning has impacted these games. The spinners have done very well indeed, picked up so many wickets. And so there have been spinners around. You still wonder why many of our West Indian players at the highest level struggle to play spin. Well, they don't even get it very well in the regional cricket, far less when you get more quality.
This one lifted by Tyson. Could only get one. And so the Clove Challengers have to be careful here. Want to get over the 70-run mark at least. Not to have the lowest total in the tournament. So they will need a couple carry power hits.
Yeah, that's important for them. They've got to be boundary searching now.
See if they can get it off Charles. This one is lifted. It seems the trajectory says it's going, it's gone. Good hit there by Hippolyte. We've seen him. He has the ability to hit the ball very cleanly. As we look at it backing away, asking Charles to come into his arc and lifting it nicely. And that seems to be 6 runs. We just await the confirmation from the umpires.
May have signaled 4, you know.
Seem to have signaled 4.
I think they're going to pause a bit just to confirm as to whether the ball went over the boundary line. It looks that way. And the umpires just conferring. We've got technology here. DNR. Done a great job. You'll change that now. It's a carry power hit maximum.
Yeah, good hit there by Hippolyte. We were just speaking of it. And he responds and looking to get his team a bit of momentum. They need these power hits to really have a total that they can defend. Charles, there he goes again on the back foot. Just getting it down to the man there at long on. They pick up 1. But Hippolyte has certainly shown that he's a good, clean hitter of the cricket ball.
Sure, right. Abraham came in very quickly and he's down there waiting for the big hit. There is a deep extra cover. Well, deep extra cover for the left-hander. Deep mid-wicket.
Off the edge, Taylor with a valiant effort. A really good effort from him, but could not stop or could not reel in the catch. And so Tyson lives on. More importantly for the Clove Challengers, they pick up 2 runs.
Yeah, every run would be vitally important. They probably wouldn't get up to 90, but maybe if they get up to 80 or 85, then they could make it a working total. Still think that too many teams are going under that 100.
This one hit very firmly. Will it be the fielder? No, it does not. Jeremiah comes around and rifles the return back, but important runs for the challengers. I quite agree with you when you say that the totals really under 100. It really doesn't say much about the conditions, which has been good for batting. And this one is hit through the wide mid-wicket region. They pick up 1. It does say that the bowlers have really done well in terms of the fact that they can restrict teams under 100.
Yeah, you're sure right. 9 overs gone, 68 for 8. The last or final over coming up. And the Clove Challengers would feel that they've not done as well as they could have or should have done. They need to make this over, though, a big one. But with 68 for 8 and top order, already back in Dodge, then it's going to be a difficult assignment to make this last over really big, when considering too that the Ginger Generals, they bowled so very well.
Well, considering also that it's Ronald Williams with the ball in his hand, he has proven to be a very good death bowler. A bag of tricks, has the slower one, can pitch through the Yorkers. Let's see what he does. This one is just guided. Fielder has to do well. Just a bit of a bobble, but they pick up 2 easy runs.
Yeah, I like what I saw there with Tyson, though. Ran the first run very quickly and quickly called his teammate Hippolyte back for the second run.
Yeah, and he's at the non-striker's end, so he sees exactly what is happening based on where the ball position was. And this one he swings. They will look for 2. They go for run the first one hard. And here they go. Return comes into the keeper, but Hippolyte was always going to get home. He ran the first one really nicely, very quick, and got back for 2.
Yes, that's what good cricket is all about. Good running, aggressive running between the wickets, demonstrated there. And although the fielder came in from a deep extra cover and covered ground very quickly too, and picked up well. But that speed between the wickets, that is what makes the difference. Run hard, run fast, be calculative.
Challengers will need a boundary here. It's lifted. It has gone nice and straight, and Carib, power hit off the bat of Hippolyte. Hippolyte with a really nice cameo here. I'm looking to bring his team as close to that 80-90 run mark.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that. Admittedly, it was in the slot, but he didn't let his eyes light up and get over ambitious. Just made a little bit of room outside the leg stump. Now that's good. That's good. And still he was to the pitch of it. Now that's what you look. Even if you make room, make sure you still get to the pitch of it so that you can hit the ball cleanly 5 inches from the base of the bat.
Piece of innovation there, but he will be caught. I like the thinking.
I like it. That's why I said nice. But the catch taken.
Let's look at the replay there. Really just getting across and looking to exploit that vacant area behind Williams there at fine leg. But Williams was equal to the task. And picking up a very good catch.
Yeah, but the idea was good. The idea was good to be cheeky. His cheekiness didn't work, but he could feel very happy that he has contributed and at least got a good hit in this over.
Yeah, certainly.
78 for 9.
19 from some 9 deliveries, striking at 211.
That's good. That is really good.
Much of what the Clove challengers needed based on the possession of wickets that they had.
Yes, if you're over 200 as a strike rate, you're pretty good. And if you're above 250, you're excellent.
So that wicket brings Amikel Dubisset into the wicket. He has 2 deliveries from Williams.
And he'll have to bowl his heart out to defend that along with the others.
What is more important for the Ginger Generals, if they get 1 wicket here, it means that the Clove challengers have been bowled out. It's not often in T10 cricket you see a team being bowled out, but challengers are being threatened here.
What's your prediction, Dawn?
I think Dubisset should know what is at stake.
He's got to go hard. The hills in his eye line, he's got to aim for them. Aim for the hills.
And he gets it, it's up. And Jeremiah taking the catch. Clove challengers have been bowled out. They're bowled out for 78 runs inside 10 overs. A really dominant performance from the Ginger Generals.
Yes, dominant in every aspect of the word. They played like real generals. They came out businesslike, stuck to the plan, very disciplined. They were not all over the place, but stuck to the plan. And I think all the bowlers came and did what was expected of them, reducing the challengers to 78 all out. It was a clinical display of bowling, and admittedly, yes, the runs are on the board, but Ginger Generals would feel that they've done sufficient and they should be able to overhaul a modest total of 79.
Yeah, they should feel really happy with their performance this morning, or this afternoon rather.
Laurie Williams didn't pick up a wicket, neither did Jonathan Taylor. Went for 16 and 8 respectively, but Dennis George bowled well, 1 for 22 of 2. Jonel Eugene, 2 for 6, fantastic returns. And of course, Davis Charles, who had a hat-trick, picked up 2 for 14. Ronald Williams, 2 for 10. So that's the reason why Ginger Generals, they were bowled up for 78. In the batting department, good knock by Jackson, 28 of 22. The others, really a sorry sight. Nobody got into the double figures. Samuel Charles went for 8. He was tragically run out. 4 to Murray. Ned had 5. A bit of a disappointment there, but just forgot that Taylor, in fact, bring up a rare end cameo, 19 of 9. He batted very well indeed. No run there for Richard Rogers. Neither did George Delaney get off the mark, but Tyson, in the end, not out 5. And Amical Dubisset, well, he was the last man to go without scoring. 10 overs, bowled out, 78 all out. It means that the Ginger General will have a modest total of 79 for victory.
Yeah, 79 for victory, and we will see you back here shortly at the Lassagers playing field where the chase will be on. Can the Clove challengers defend this 78? It's a tough ask, but we wait to see what happens.
And welcome back here at the Lassages playing field, where the Ginger General, they dismissed the Clove challengers for 78. Rather modest total, and they've got 79 to win of 10 overs. You know, you won't want to say it's going to be a walk in the park, but the Ginger Generals will try to be as positive as possible to overhaul this. I think they'll be dissatisfied and a bit disappointed with the batting performance. Clove challengers, they're not taking away anything at all from the bowling department and the fielding of the Ginger Generals. I thought they played very well. They were very much on top of the game. So here's the first delivery by Dubisset, and wide signal by the umpire. So Anil Matthew opening with Gerald Jeremiah.
Another inauspicious start by Dubisset, of course. That was exactly how he started in the previous game. Wide down the leg side and 5 runs on the board. Of course,
Yeah, don't forget your keeper is standing up. Charles is standing up. Opens the face of the bat and glides it, gets the first run of the bat. It's Jeremiah. So he's off the bat, brings Matthew into strike, who can hit the ball well and can hit the ball hard. He's done pretty well behind the stumps, Matthew. Got to think about doing well in front of the stumps now. So here's Dubisset to bowl to Jeremiah. Outside the off stump, wide signal by the umpire. What's his thoughts about Charles standing up?
Dubisset is not a very PC bowler. And I think he also wants to keep the batsmen in check, doesn't want them to shimmer down the track too much.
Good delivery, but played well. Thought about the single, but Jeremiah sent him back. Ball was traveling very quickly. Reggie's moving across smartly to his right. There's Dubisset from a longish approach. Would move into bowl to Matthews. Short on the back foot, pulls that well. And that's gone for 4. It was short onto the back foot, and he swiveled well and hit that down to backward square. Went a couple of bounces over the boundary line. Good aggressive shot there by Matthew. And he is off the mark. And the Ginger Generals, they're off to a fine start. 11 runs already, and we're halfway through the first over. Outside the off stump of the back foot. Spars the ball down to the sweeper position. And gets another run. You just get the impression that the Ginger Generals would want to go after this total rather hard. Be aggressive at it, which would help, of course, to improve the run rate. Well bowled, Dubisset. Pushing the batsman onto the back foot, and could do no more, Jeremiah, than push the ball back along the track for the bowler to pick up on its follow through. There is a short third man, backward point, cover square, extra cover. There's a mid-off, mid-on, straightish mid-wicket, and a backward square inside the circle. Driven out to extra cover, and they'll get a comfortable single. So that completes the first over. Is there one more to go? I think the over has been completed. So 1 over has just been completed, and the general, beg your pardon, who are chasing a rather modest victory target. They're 13 without loss.
Yeah, good start by them, and that's the type of start you need when you're chasing just in excess of 70. So the Ginger General at the moment, their needs what? They need that. They requires 66 more in 9 overs, 54 balls, and that really is not the type of equation that would have the batters thinking that they has to do anything so spectacular. But again, probably they must have a plan in mind. Maybe they're within striking distance. We're not sure. We don't have the figures exactly to tell us exactly what they need to do, probably to get into the top 4.
Well, Redhead will bowl from the southern end. Nicholas Redhead moves into bowl to Jeremiah, who is reaching for that outside the off stump. The ball takes the outer edge and will go down to third man. That was pitched outside the off stump, and maybe he was just looking to squeeze it to backward point. And it took an outside edge, a thick one too. And the diving effort of the keeper couldn't really get there. And it went very quickly down to third man for 4. Bit of fortunes, but that's all right. Results in 4. Ginger General, they're off to a quick start. They will go through for a quick single this time. Ball pitched, pushed just short at extra cover. And again, it does prove, Justin, that it's not always bludgeoning of the ball, but sometimes it's about looking for gaps and also playing with soft hands.
Indeed, they already pick up a boundary in the first delivery, what we will call an educated edge. Although there is no real danger, there is no slip, so therefore it's always a very safe shot. And 18 without loss, very much ahead in terms of the rate.
Jeremiah thought about the single, made a few exploratory steps of intent down the track. But Matthew sent him back quite wisely too. Ball pushed just out on the offside. We did talk about what a lovely day it is. Good, nice, clean day. Now that's a fine shot. That's a fine shot. And it's gone all the way. Pitched up. And we told you about Matthew, who is a good striker of the ball. Just came forward and lifted it nicely. Just threw his hands into it. Ooh, that was lovely. That was imperious. There's a majestic, lovely touch about that. It went all the way for a carry power hit maximum. Gone to 11 or 5. Nice shot. Really lovely. Wide down the leg side. So, Redden hasn't had the best of tournaments. Just a pity though, because he does love his game so much and has worked so hard on his game. But he's had some injury issues. Nice. Really nice. Pull back in length, which was a good idea. The delivery, couple of deliveries before, when he pitched up, he was driven over long on. This time he pulled the length back. And it was also well played by Matthew just turned it with soft hand up on the onside and got one. So 53 needed of 49. But I think the Clove challengers would feel that they were about 25 runs short of the target they would have loved to post. So 2 overs gone is 26 without losses. A fine start by the Ginger Generals.
Of course, a game like that today would have given the Clove Generals a chance to probably to bring in a couple players who have not featured prominently yet so far in the tournament. They have done that, and I think you need to ensure that you keep your players fresh as possible, your top players as fresh as possible, and they have done that. But they still possess a fairly good bowling attack, and though we haven't had a wicket yet, in fact we have had 2 overs and no wickets, and a good start, 26 for no loss. Murray into the attack now.
Brought in to the attack a bit earlier than usual. They love him bowling the death overs. Down the leg side, there's an appeal for cut behind. Gone. Well, it has to be a pretty decent catch there by Charles. Maybe looking to work the ball on the onside, Matthew. Yeah, looking to work it on the onside. Might have taken the glove. And the catch taken by Charles. And so Ginger Generals, they've lost their first wicket with Matthew going caught behind of the bowling of Kurt Murray. And it's 26 for 1.
Lots of time. A shot like that will probably bring 4 with the ball going fine past the keeper, but I think it was very good work by Charles. He did go across pretty early, probably in anticipation of something like that, and being across. They juggled it a bit, but held on to it, but a very good catch. You can't at all take anything away from the catch. And 1 wicket down, but every wicket that falls is a reminder that it's not how well you start, but how well you finish. And we saw in the innings before, despite a relatively comfortable start by the Clove General, they were bowled out in the final delivery of the 10th over.
Yeah, you're sure right. But you're right, it was a smart catch down the leg side by Charles. Juggled a couple of times, but grasped it in the end. So the 2 Jeremiahs at the crease now, taking strike is Johan Jeremiah. Ooh, stop. You got to be careful, these 2 brothers.
I think the consolation is for Clove is that these 2 haven't spent a lot of time at the wicket together. Maybe we'll be hoping that it's another occasion when this doesn't happen. Of course, Charles have had a good game all round. He batted well. He done good work behind the wicket.
Gets a single, pushed up to long off. So the over has come to an end. It was a good over there, bowled by Murray. Picked up the valuable wicket of Matthew. So with 3 overs gone, and with run rate of 9, exactly 9, is 27 for 1. Ginger Generals.
And of course, always remember if you add a wicket or two to the total, and it makes a total different reading, and maybe an over two again by that type of figures. Cut Murray first over one over 1 run 1 wicket. I think 1 run 1 wicket. So I think if you should, if you look at let's say the situation, a couple of wickets falling in the next 2 or 3 overs, nobody knows what can happen. 27 for 1, and another spinner in, and Rogers, who have had some success too during the tournament. It's a good idea to use him too against the left-handers. Off spinner spinning the ball away from the left-handed batsman. Well, it's not like that at all. This one was on the pad or just outside the leg stump, and you and Jeremiah too good to allow that to go past him. Just caught him on the knee and swept it. One of the few times you've seen the genuine sweep shot being employed, but swept and swept well. The man at backward square, shot backward square, had no chance to enter away to the boundary for 4.
He's a good sweep of the ball, though. Whereas the conventional sweep or the slog sweep, he does play both versions of the sweep shot very, very well indeed. Can pull very well too. It's got a good arrangement and array of shots. Can cut the ball well too. And he's a player that is getting better and better in the process of time. He has the ability to go very far.
Well, where is he going? One can see that Gerald Jeremiah had no interest in a second run. Gerald took off down the track. But all's well ends well. Got back without any real difficulties.
Well, youthful exuberance, right?
Quick delivery again by Rogers. Give it some flight, and Jeremiah could do no more than to get in behind it and play it on the offside. End of another very good over. In fact, just 6 coming off it, and that's what we were talking about. Only 7 runs in the last 2 overs, and certainly one never knows how batsmen feel especially when you're not scoring at the rate you think you want to score at. It tends to do something out of the ordinary, and more often than not, you make an error, you loses your wicket, and their pressure sets in.
Yes, 7 runs coming off the previous 2 overs. So that constitutes good bowling by Clove challengers. And they're saying that, look, generals, you're not going to scamper away with this victory. If you're going to get it, you've got to work hard for it. And the previous 2 overs suggested how hard they've had to work.
Already it has pushed the required rate a bit down. So the current rate of 8.5. At one time it was up to as much as 9. Just goes to show what a couple tight overs can do.
Sure, right.
And we've seen enough in the tournament so far to know that teams have started well. They have looked rather comfortable, only to find that a couple unforeseen activities would have really pegged them back.
Into over number 5. I think they've done right in keeping Murray on. He's kept it really tight, very tidy. Not trying to experiment much. Just been bowling wicket to wicket by and large, rather tidily.
Oh, God, yeah, I'll make that look so good.
Off the back foot and cuts. And that went over the backward point. Fielder's head. Went all the way down to the boundary for 4. But it was hit hard. It was short outside the off stump and cut well.
Right over your hand.
That's certainly taking some of the pressure that were beginning to build up on the Ginger. And this one is short and lucky to get away with that. Did it come off the bat? Probably. Yeah, well. Yeah, so probably if Andrew was standing back, he would have been able to take that easily. But he was standing up and the ball did come off probably the glove or something like that, and he struck the keeper. He had no time to react to that. He was just this man getting away with that. And another light shot, just going onto the back foot and opening the face of the bat and steering it away down towards backward point. And it raced away to the boundary for 4, watching it right onto the bat. Of course, all the fundamentals right there, and rightly so, reaping the reward. So 2 boundaries in the over would have certainly pulled things back for the Ginger Generals. At the moment, they were 40, what they must be about 41 for 1. And we've had 5 overs bowled, 43 for 1 in fact, and we had 5 overs bowled. So that's the midway point. At the midway point, still not much in it, Pastor.
No, sure right. But that last shot was really, really lovely. Just waited on it and cut it very late. And was able to pick up a boundary at the halfway mark, 43 for 1.
Timing, of course, was sublime.
Yes.
Jeremiah just drawn, Johan Jeremiah just drawn outside the off stump to a delivery which was drifting wide and going further away and not making contact. Moral victory there for Rogers. Again outside the off stump, hitting the air. There's a chance for a catch. Shift is taken. And another big wicket has fallen. Johan Jeremiah trying to, well, I don't know if he tried to hit it behind point. The ball just bounced on him a shade. But all he managed to do is still popping it into the offside, out towards the point area. And an easy catch taken. And as we say, there is no knowing what will happen in situations like that. The current rate, 8.6. The required rate is still 7, almost 7.5. And we can still have, Pastor, some twists and some turns.
Yeah. But I'm sure that the Clove challengers would be very happy with this dismissal. Really happy. And they've got to have this frame of mind to say, Justin, that we're going to still put as much pressure as possible. We didn't score as many as we would like, but let's pressure this team and see whether we can maybe bowl them out or restrict them to under the required. We're in over number 6 though. It's 43 for 2. As Eugene comes in to replace Gerald Jeremiah.
Another lefty, and I think the Rogers will certainly enjoy, seem to enjoy bowling to the left-handers. Making a delivery, almost turning Eugene around. One can see that he did get some turn, and Eugene almost searching for it, and getting it off the outer portion of the bat, just square with the wicket on the offside. So but again, delivery short, and the field well placed for that type of delivery, as George picked up and chose it, and should have got only 1. So Eugene has gone to 1. It brings Gerald Jeremiah back on strike. 44 for 2. And see, Still, there's not much in it. Anything can happen, as we say. And again, a delivery well bowled by Rogers on the off stump. And very in his pace, very nicely. One can see the ball that dismissed there, Johan Jeremiah, probably just has a little more pace and bounce on it. And a loud appeal for leg before. And he's gone, he's gone, he's gone. Yes, he's gone, man. It was a delivery, full length. And Joel Jeremiah looking to, I don't know if it's to pull it away on the onside or flick it away on the onside. Didn't make contact. Umpire Man Warren saying, well, son, that was straight. He did tumble over. And he's gone leg before and more trouble. And as we were saying, add 2 wickets to the total. And it certainly, it's a problem. And wow, that was as dead as my dad. My dad is no longer alive.
44 for 3. And it's really turning out into a pretty fascinating encounter. We're in over number 6. And the Ginger General, they still need 35. And they've got to get these 35 in 25 balls. That could be something of a challenge. Challengers.
And as I was saying, Pastor, at LBW, it was a dead straight, 10 mil stomp almost. I don't think you've even performed a burial ceremony. That was that dead, I don't think. Dead straight, just losing his foot and falling over. Not it just goes to show the game called cricket, glorious uncertainties. It may just be meandering on, and all of a sudden it springs to life. A wicket or two, and everything comes to life. And what was so comfortable for one team now become really heart wrenching for them.
Charles Jilts has come in.
And he's gone down the ground. And where's that gone? He too will be gone. He's gone too. Well, what is happening here? Jigs looking to go down the ground and only being able to find the fielder deep at long on. And again, are we going to see another procession?
Wow. Who would have thought that this was going to be the situation with the match at this stage, halfway stage into the second innings, so to speak. And quite frankly, I think we've got a match on hand. We've got a match on hand here.
And for the first time, the required rate has gone over the rate of scoring. So it means that the Clove challengers have certainly exerted tremendous pressure. Not only have they taken 3 wickets, but they have also pegged the scoring back. And in games like this, it is more important to sort of control the rate of scoring than taking wickets. There's no problem. They can win the game, having taken only 3 wickets, if they bowl that well and controlled. I mean, ensure that the Ginger Generals do not get over the line. But we've seen a procession this morning, and
we're seeing one this afternoon too, aren't we?
Are they just leaving the church? I don't think they're out on the road yet, but yeah, certainly it has started. Hippolyte has picked up a wicket. Second week, 2 for 7. This is second wicket. It's a really handy cricketer, Hippolyte. He does park a punch with the bat. He does bat well, and of course, certainly bowls pretty well too. That's the delivery on target and pushes it out into the offside. Eugene. So
yeah, Hippolyte, one of 2 players to get into double figures when the challengers batted.
Ooh.
Sean Abraham and Jilks. They've got to do a bit of repair here. Opens the face of the bat, glides that down to third man, and it's going to go all the way for 4.
Well,
fine shot, played it late.
And it was a good shot too. Bear in mind, look at how wide Hippolyte or the ball was angling into him all the time, and just waited on it and played it on the last moment to an unprotected third man area, backward point area, and it went away to the boundary for 4. So that will just probably ease again some pressure. Last time I said that there was a wicket right after. That's a little bit short aside the off stop, and again this time just tears it down and it will go away for 4 again.
Oh.
So a bit of misfield there, and gifting the batsman with 4 more runs.
Yeah, they can't afford to do that. Not at this stage. That's a capital cricket felony.
Maybe we have been a little bit too harsh on the fieldsman. It was a well played shot. It was well timed. Just opened the face of the bat and guided it down behind square. And the fielder scrambling, tumbling out there, couldn't get a hand to it, and he went away for 4.
Actually seemed to have dived over it.
Possibly. So, Abraham, 8 from 4. And just exactly what the Ginger Generals would need at this moment. And just spoiling the figures there of Hippolyte. Is 1 for 8. And we're outside the off stump. And pushed away on the offside to bring up the end of the over. At the end of it, 7 overs gone. The Ginger General 52 for 4 and still needing 27 runs in 18 balls at a rate of exactly 9.
Now that's not impossible. Neither is it improbable. And they still got 6 wickets in hand, requiring 27 of 18. It means that they've got to begin to think now, Justin, of going hard. This over coming up, they'd wanted to yield at least 12 out of that 27. They don't want, in the final over, to say let's have 10 or 14 runs. That would not be to their disadvantage. So this over coming up, they've got to make it productive. That's the Ginger Generals. And then as you come right down to the penultimate and final overs, that's when you'll have to decide, well, this is it. Let's go for the kill. Let's go for the jugular. Clove challengers would obviously have different thoughts up their sleeves.
Well, Darren Ned has come in, and I want to bet he's probably going to bowl the 8th and 10th over. So this over will probably determine what he leaves for himself, most of what he leaves for himself in the final over, but a shot blasted down on the offside. The fielder comes across and can get there, and he goes for 4. So good start there by Jilks. Jilks getting a delivery outside the off stump with just too much room given to him, and finding the gap between the deep cover and the long off, and it raced away to the boundary for 4. So good start by the Ginger Generals.
Yeah, I thought that was a good shot, good positive intention. Didn't just decide to block the delivery, but rather was intentional in banging that through the offside. Great, lovely shot. Good swing of the bat, good arc.
Well, Jilks may feel that he needs to really make things up for the Ginger Generals. One of the players who are expected to really carry a heavy bit of the batting. I haven't spent the kind of time out there and maybe score the type of runs that was expected of him so far. And good cricket all around, just pushing it into the outside. They're going back for the second. There's a chance, and no, in the end, two runs, and Kishan Abraham hustling there and managed to get back for the second. So 6 off 2. And remember in there just now needing 7.88, but that's the difference when you get a boundary and you manage to pick up 2 and the runs flow. 58 for 4. Jilks is on 6-8 to Kishan Abraham. So this last few deliveries has been rather yeah, these last two deliveries, the Ginger Generals have managed to certainly claw their way back. They would want to probably take, as I said, pass as much as they can from this over and make things a lot easier in the penultimate and the final over.
Yeah, 4 deliveries remaining in this over. We're in over number 8. Bowled by Darren Ned, who was smacked for the first delivery, faced for 4. And then 2 came from the other one.
Trouble, and trouble it is. Abraham has found himself run out at a rather firm shot there by Jilks towards a square leg. The fielder fielded well, and Abraham really had no way of stopping. He did slip as we will look at it again. We played off the body. Abraham was committed to the run, and probably there was a single there. I don't know. What's your thought of it, Pastor?
Well, let me tell you,
A simple return.
he was.
and
So I'm sorry, he was backing up. So give him credit for that. The ball was struck not far to the right or left of the player, and the pickup was clean. Now, the batsman was on the back foot, having tugged it to the mid-wicket area. So it meant that he would have to come off from the back foot and try now to make it to the other
As we
end.
look at it again, it did pick up rather cleanly. And
Yeah, to the non-strikers end. But I wish we could see it again though, so that you could see what was happening with the batsman. If we can't, but really, having pulled and onto the back foot, it would have taken quite a bit now to push out onto the front foot and run the single very quickly. It was always going to be very difficult for him. I would not look. So he's on the back foot, swung his body around, and now he has to think about running. He can't make it.
And again, that was really good awareness by Tyson there behind square. Apart from feeling it cleanly, he didn't have a strike. He sided up the situation and he just lobbed it into the bowler. And the run out was effected. But another single. 5 down now. We're in 59 for 5. And of course, the required rate again edging up to 9. And the Ginger General still has to be very careful here. And because that standstill is still very much even here. 2 deliveries to go in over number 8. And they think they can afford a wicket or 2 within the next over or so. That is what the Clove General will want to do. Want to remember Darren Ned himself defending 8 here to win out. To steal and a lovely shot. That will probably goes all the way. It was a delivery pitched up on the pad, and away it goes for 6, and that's a big boundary. That's a huge maximum, probably bigger than a carry maximum, power maximum. Look at it again. Pitched up, a bad delivery by Darren Ned, and given the treatment, and away it went over square leg, over backward square for 6.
Again, not the best of over by Ned at all. Usually it's much more economical, much tighter. So just sort of loosen the shackles of the Clove challengers, Ginger Generals rather.
In fact, Davis Charles, and again a delivery pitched up and coming off the outer edge of the bat and going down towards third man. So Charles has probably made probably one of the most decisive blow that the first ball he faced from Darren Ned managed to get it over the boundary line for carry power maximum. So it means that it's only a run, basically a run and a half a ball now, 6.5 runs per over, and this should be really very easy from here on. And 66 for 5. Jilks is on 7. So we look at the point standing. Of course, it has been. Oh yeah, we look at the point standing. Clove challengers. They have played 7 games. They have won 6 and lost 1 so far. They have 12 points and sitting rather comfortably at the top. Of Of course, the Ginger Generals, they're on 10 points. The two have played 7 matches.
Nutmeg Warriors are
No,
in
Nutmeg
second.
Warriors, sorry, the Nutmeg Warriors is on second. They two are on 10 points. So, Clove Generals knowing here that a loss here probably just wouldn't affect their standings at the moment.
Just in the interest, for the interest of those who have passion for test match cricket. There's a one-off test between England and Zimbabwe. They close with England 498 for 3. 498 for 3. Crawley 124, Duckett 140, and Pope, the first 3 batsmen scoring 100, Pope 140. Sorry, 169 of 163 deliveries. Quite phenomenal. 498 of 88 overs. I would have to just do a bit of research to see whether that might be the highest total scored on the first day of a test match.
And it has certainly been a total mutilation of the Zimbabwean bowlers there. Another delivery outside the off stump, and Charles looking to go very hard. Just having a word with him. So far, just an extra wide in the over, 67 for 5. And 12 runs required in 10 deliveries. That really shouldn't be too difficult at all, we don't think. But it's not so much what we think out here is what the realities are. Because the game is still cricket. And to add with the tension, Hippolyta is just probably not satisfied.
Yes. So I've got some information for you. Right. England scored the most runs ever on day 1 of a test match, breaking a 112-year record held by Australia way back in 1910. Wow. And Australia against South Africa scored 494. 494. So England has eclipsed that, a record that stood for 112 years.
Did look very much on the card. Of course, I can't quite remember what the scores were in the warm-up game that Zimbabwe lost. In fact, I think they did lose that. And there was always some concern that they were not going to put up the best of showing against England in the test match. It's really a David and Goliath situation there. Down the ground, in the air, but dropping just before the fielder comes in from, that Jackson comes in from the deep extra cover boundary. So another single. And it brings Jilks into strike. And the score 69 for 5. Short again and played back and he's run out. Well, that is so. I mean, probably not concentrating at all. Jilks went back, he pulled the ball straight back to the bowler. He pulled it failed well to his own bowling. And where was Charles going? He alone can tell. He was back and he was pulling. In fact, he almost trotted onto his thumbs too in the process, giving himself room. He pulled it. All he had to do was to collect and just pick the bail. And another wicket has fallen. As we look at it again, he's back. He pulled it. Very well fielded. And Charles not even in the frame.
Well, I think he probably decided, whatever happens, I'm going to go for this run. What a way to get dismissed.
Oh, thinking probably that it has been hit so well that it has to pass the bowler.
Well, he can only blame himself. Can't blame his fellow batter. Absolutely not. Just took off blindly with the ball coming back to the bowler, straight to the bowler. There was no diversion. Bowler didn't have to go to his right or to his left. Ooh, 10 runs needed, 7 deliveries to get there. I think we've got a match on hand.
Yes, we may well see another situation where Darren Ned is defending 8 runs.
Yeah.
He did it successfully on the last occasion. I probably would like to see if he has 8 to defend, whether he will pump the feet again as he did last time. Another situation where the ballers will blast it back towards the bowler and fielded. And a good over in the circumstances, though I think there were 6 a maximum in at the start of the over. But in the end, double figures, 10. In fact, Ned will have 2 more to defend than last time. So he probably will have more confidence, and we probably will have more tension.
Yeah, well, I like this. I like this for the game. I love when matches are brought to where it can potentially turn out to be a thriller, cliffhanger, nail-biting encounter, an accelerating one that can cause anxiety and would be a test of character and a test of nerves as to which of the 2 teams can hold both of them together. This is the final over coming up. Ned is going to be bowling. He went for 14 off his first.
Dennis George has replaced Charles. Has replaced wasn't Charles, in fact, has replaced Jilks. So yeah, Jilks is a batsman who was dismissed. As Ned delivery, which is lets it go outside the off stump. It was a pacey delivery. It was a good delivery, and again the tension is rising. 1 ball gone. The rate has gone up to 12 now. They still need 10 from 5 deliveries.
Yeah, but one big blow can change the complexion. A sneaky inside edge pass the keeper down to the fine leg boundary can also result with fruitfulness for Clove challengers, and maybe a delivery.
Are they challenging something? Maybe the umpire probably want to look at the delivery, whether it was wide or he has gone upstairs just to add to the tension. One can see Darren Ned rather pumped up, really starting to believe. Well, there's nothing there, it seems. So, are we still waiting? No, there's nothing there. So Ned I'm sure will rush in again to bowl to Dennis George. And this will be a very important delivery by Ned to George. Bowl him! Well, leg stump, Yorker. And are we seeing it again, Pastor?
Beautifully bowled. Wicket to wicket, right up in the block hole. And George coming down or seeking to come down heavily on it, wasn't able to dab it out. And Ned went through, he breached the gate of defense. And so George has to go back, pulls off the glove, of course, more with disappointment than anything else. 4 balls to go, and the Ginger Generals, well, they require 10 runs. Can something special come out of this? Beautifully bowled. That was well bowled. The leg stump was pushed back and the bails were spattered.
Cricket. Anything else you can add?
Lovely cricket.
We were talking earlier about, of course, the uncertainties of this lovely game, where, all of a sudden something can happen, and it brings the game to life. And what seems so comfortable, team that seem to be just marching on and should be certainly comfortable, all of a sudden the cats are among the pigeons. Yeah. I think we have to stop taking the cats to the grounds.
I wonder whether Ronald Williams and Charles are the pigeons, and whether Ned is the cat. Moves in like a feline of Spiceisle. Big swish outside the off stump. Keep your eyes on the ball, Ronald. That's what you'll be advised to do. If you take your eyes off the ball, the chances of hitting it is lessened.
So it comes down to, I think, this delivery now. They will have to hit a boundary maximum now.
That's correct. 3 legal deliveries remaining. 10 runs must be scored. Great comeback here by Clove Challengers.
And he
Outside the
misses
arse
again.
stump, big swing.
Well,
Body is nowhere in position to hit that ball. Williams, well bowled by Ned. Beautifully bowled. Just brought that one slightly back of a length. And you couldn't want a better soldier to finish off the innings. Ned is doing that pretty well. 2 balls remaining. Misses outside the arse stump.
well, that's all it wrote.
Well. 5 deliveries have gone. The Generals, they require 10 in the last one, and I really cannot see Ned bowling a no ball here, or a wide. I think he'll be calm and collective and composed enough to bowl it straight.
Which if he does, I don't think it will impact the game anyway. As again misses outside the off stump, and that is it. So the Clove Challengers have again snatched victory out of the jaws of defeat, we'll have to say. And I have to say, I'm so privileged to have been here to see it twice. This time past, he had 2 more runs, I thought, which was, he should have been probably even more confident. And indeed he was. And bringing it home for the Clove Challengers. They won by 9 runs.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that Clove Challengers would win by 9 runs? We never thought, we didn't see that coming. The Ginger Generals, having bowled and fielded so very well, and when they took their time at the crease now to bat, their batting fell apart, and that's where things collapsed. And Clove Challengers, seeing that there was some opportunity to sneak in a victory, they did that and did that quite well. And if you're going to win a 10 over encounter by 9 runs, I think that's pretty good. It's a pretty decent margin of victory. So Clove Challengers defeating the Ginger Generals by 9 runs.
Well, one thing we have seen for sure is that the Clove Challengers never give up. They stayed within range. They stayed right there about, as they say. So any slip off, they were ready to capitalize, and capitalize they did.
Yeah. Played their hands well. Great match. Very interesting. Doby set. Didn't pick up a wicket. Neither did Nicholas Redhead, each of which bowled 1 over. But there was 1 for 11 for Kurt Murray, who bowled very well of his 2 overs. Very economical. And Richard Rogers had 2 for 7 of 2. Darren Hippolyte had 1 for 10 of 2. And Darren Ned bowled a splendid final over. He picked up 1 for 14. It was a great over that he bowled. 2 overs and picked up 1 for 14. It's been a clinical bowling display on the part of the Clove Challengers. Extras won 9, but I think they concentrated well and they played their hands very well indeed. Well, Jeremiah, who scored 14, Anil Matthew had a good start for 12. Johan Jeremiah, 11. No score there for Jonel Eugene. 8 to Jilks, and 8 also for Abraham Davis Charles, not out. 7 of 7. Dennis George was comprehensively bowled by Darren Ned without scoring, and Ronald Williams not out, no score in the end. So 80, a total which really was supposed to be modest and reachable, 78 for 10 all out by the Clove Challengers. Dismiss of the last delivery of the innings. Ginger Generals could muster only 69. 69 for 7 of 10 overs, and the Clove Challengers, they've won and won by 9 runs. They've got every reason to celebrate and to be happy. They've done a great job, Clove Challengers, in defending this total, and what a match they've had. Didn't look as though they can pull it off, but they certainly did. Well, this, of course, being the first of doubleheader today, and the Nutmeg Warriors will be coming up against the Nawasa Cinnamon Pacers in match number 2 today. And that's going to start a little later on. It's going to start, in fact, at 2:30. So there'll be a bit of a break, and then at 2:30, in the next half an hour or so, then we'll be having this very interesting encounter. These two teams, Cinnamon Pacers against the Nutmeg Warriors, and that should be, I would think, a fascinating contest. We still await. There'll be the usual, the usual match, post-match ceremony will be coming up shortly. So we've had a very good match today, and let's hope that we have a very good match coming up a little later on. I think the major disappointment of the tournament is that the teams have not scored big, and that has been maybe the biggest disappointment. The bowlers have had a field day. I think both the fast bowlers and the spinners have done very well indeed, but more so the spinners have come into their own, and they have really bowled exceptionally well. We can't talk much more about the pitch. The ground staff, they've done a great job, and they did some early morning grass cutting, which ensured, of course, that the outfield runs very quickly indeed. By and large, it's been a good tournament, but we're winding down to the last few days, and the Nutmeg Warriors and Cinnamon Pacers, they're right up there at the top of the table. And Justin, that's what makes it a very good encounter this afternoon.
Indeed, yeah, it is. If you look at the table, basically a table of two halves, where two teams have certainly secured themselves at the top, and of course at the bottom there's still a chance that probably the Cinnamon Pacers can get through. Well, the Ginger Generals probably have lost that opportunity, having lost today to the Cloves. So I think all in all, it has been a good tournament. And
so with the tournament getting more so to the back end, the interest has not waned at all. The interest has remained rather high. We will be getting into the post-match ceremony, and the roll has been used in preparation for the next match coming up, and that match, reminding you, Nutmeg Warriors will be coming up against Nawasa Cinnamon Pacers. We already have the lineup for both teams in regards to the...
well, yes, I'm hearing you, Richie. Wonderful.
So the Nawasa Cinnamon Pacers, we just will give you the lineup. We have a bit of time on hand. Brian John, Shondell Regis, Daniel Williams, Asif Hooper, Nkosi St. Hilaire, Jerron Noel, Kurtson Murray, Alfred Bishop, Vaughn Bartholomew, Jamal Francis, Ricardo Murray. That's the lineup for the Nawasa Cinnamon Pacers. And the Nutmeg Warriors, well, they got Daniel McDonald, Javon Andrew, John
Thank you.
Olive, Josh Thomas, not in, Enoch Toussaint, Kellis Andrew, Therese Francis, Michael Henry, Chris Alexander, Kyle Randu, Niran Belfon, and Dejon Charles. Those are the players that will be representing the Nutmeg Warriors this afternoon. Neither Andrew Fletcher or Josh Thomas will be featured in this game. So I think by and large, everyone looks forward with great interest with the Cinnamon Pacers coming up against the Nutmeg Warriors in just about 25 minutes, thereabout. And it should be a very interesting encounter indeed. But good match we had on hand. And both teams played not the highest level of cricket that you'd like. I think both of them lacked good batting. The bowling was good, the fielding was good. There were several run-outs in the match, which means that either the decision between the wickets by the batsmen were not very good, and the fielding or the fielders did a good job, and it might well have been a combination of both of them. But not a good score again, Justin, between these two teams. They'll be disappointed, but the fact that the match turned out to be such an exciting one for the good of cricket, you had to enjoy it.
Well, yes, and it always begs the question, what in cricket is a good score? Probably a good score is not one that provides a mix for a lopsided affair. Probably a good score is one that produces games like this, where teams probably chasing totals that every spectators, even we commentators alike, will deem that they should get easily, only to stumble and to produce that type of games. So it's always a thin line when it comes to determining what is a good score or a very good score. Well, maybe we'll have to put it into categories. I don't know how you categorize it.
Yeah, I would say when you're playing 10-10 cricket, you must be thinking about getting up to that 100 mark, triple figure, which means that you'll be scoring at around 10 and over. You've got to challenge that. But when you have scores like 70 and 80, 85, really, although some of those totals have been defendable, but it just tells you, however, that we need to work on our batting.
Yes, very much so, very much so. And but all in all, it's been a wonderful game, and we see scores. One remembers 1983 West Indies versus India in the Prudential World Cup. West Indies having to chase 100. Right, so we're ready for the presentations, and we'll go right down to Rondell.
All right, well, we are here for the post-match presentation, and I'm going to be speaking with the Ginger Generals captain, Johan Jeremiah. Johan, a game which I think you really wanted to win.
Yeah, I think the game was set up perfectly for us to win.
Could you walk us through what really went wrong?
Right now I'm even lost for words, but nevertheless, I think it's just for us to hope that we get a place in the qualifiers. So it's just for us to wait and see what happens from here.
All right, well, good luck to you as you wait, and let's hope that things work in your favor.
Thanks.
All right, next up will be the Clove Challengers captain, Roland Cato. And Roland, things just seem to be unfolding really well for you.
Yeah, I mean, scoring 79, I mean, it's way under par, but must give credit to the bowlers. I think that they did a wonderful job. Come out there and put the balls in the right area, so credit to them.
Looking at the score 79, what was the words given to, or the instruction given to the bowlers?
Just about going out there and execute to our plan and stick to our plan, even if the batsman play a good shot or get up to a flyer. We just want to basically stick to our plan and let them beat us from our plan. And you can see that the plan that we set worked today.
All right, well, again, you're making that boost towards the championship. Speak to your fans.
I just want to say thanks for the support today. We're looking forward to many more of you guys coming out and support tomorrow. So come out and support.
All right, thank you very much, Roland. And we're getting straight into the presentations. We're going to present the impact bowler for this match, and that person is none other than Davis Charles. Some really impressive figures, picking up some 3 wickets, actually having a hat-trick. Davis, you must be a really happy man.
Happy indeed, right?
You have been bowling well. You have not really set the tournament alight, but today somehow everything just seemed to have come together.
Yes, it's all about studying the players. It's our second game against them, so I go back to the drawing board, study each one, and then come up with the goods.
You have 2 wickets. You're there with the ball in hand, getting ready for that delivery. How was it in terms of being able to really keep that line, that length to force that wicket?
No, it was very easy, because proper training, thinking, sleep well and come and execute well.
All right, so there you had it. A really happy Davis Charles picking up an hat-trick and being the impact bowler of the tournament. I want you to just quickly say something to your fans, even if you lost the match. Speak to your fans.
Yeah, I just want everybody to rally with us, in the knockout stage, so we can still win.
All right, so he's saying rally with the Ginger Generals. They still could come from where they are once they get into the playoffs and win. Thank you very much, David Charles. We're moving ahead into the power hitter and the man of the match, and that award goes to the same person. So we're going to welcome Darren Hippolyte to receive his awards. All right, Darren, man of the match for today's game. Everything just seemed to have come together nicely for you today.
Yeah, the guys been backing each other, and I think the confidence the captain and the coach and the manager and the teammates giving me, that really helped me a lot. So.
All right, you are the power hitter. We saw you really lift a couple of really nice big hits over the rope. Your team needed that runs. What was the mindset?
Well, just go there and play, back myself as usual, so everyone just sailing there and they could do it, and then just go there and try to do my best of my ability, so.
All right, so I want you to speak to your Clove Challengers fans. I want you to just tell them something that can keep them going, because you seem to have the momentum with you.
Yeah, I know last year we fell short by just one match, and this year we come back again into the playoffs tomorrow. From there, if we win, straight to the finals, so guys, that's the good for us. This year we should be all year. We'll be all year.
All right, so there you had it, a confident Darren Hippolyte. This year, he's promising will be a Clove year for the championship. So that was match number 1 right here at the Dream 11 Spiceisle T10. The end of the preliminary stage. We have one more match that will conclude that stage. And so we want you to stay tuned. We will be back with you shortly for the Cinnamon Pacers versus the Nutmeg Warriors. Until then.
Everybody charge up, West Indies.